I'm just going to tell you what I know about everything in here. All the gauges work except for the big nozzle pressure gauge. It detects the pressure off of your boom, and the sensor, or the place where it taps in, is at the back, right in the middle. And I've got a little ball valve on there because that gauge failed so often that I put a ball valve there so I could go ahead and run after it failed, because it typically when it went out it would leak through the gauge, and so it would shut you down. Well, that's a real expensive gauge, and so I just quit replacing it because it was nonsense. I put 2 or 3 of them in. And your product pump pressure, it tells you the pressure that's coming off of the pump anyway. The only reason for that nozzle pressure is if you saw a differential in the two, you'd know you had a blown hose or something in between. But I decided it just wasn't worth the money that big gauge cost to keep replacing it. So I just go by the product pump pressure. Anyway, this cable, I used to run an Outback light bar with it. So this just goes to the roof. This would screw into an Outback console, and on the roof, it has the end that would screw into an Outback antenna. And then this wire back here, this was just for our 2-way business band radios, and it goes up to an antenna that's in the roof too. The only hole I had to leave you that was not factory was this hole right here, that we had a toggle switch here for our green seeker, and I did not put it there. The guy that installed that for me did, and he did a horrible job of drilling that hole, and I'm ashamed of it, but I don't know any way to really dress it up. Might get maybe if you could find a blank like that's in this and put there or something. I wish I had one. I'd dress that up a little bit for you. I hate that, but we had to keep that switch for our system. Everything else pretty much pretty standard. I imagine you know about a Raven controller, and everything, you know, there's nothing special to really tell you about anything in here, I suppose. So if you have any questions, let me know, but this is how she'll be sent to you, just how it sits here. I just ran some water through, like I say, just to kind of make sure everything was in working order, and I'm gonna fold it up here, and this will be the last time I touch it till it pulls on the trailer, I suppose. I haven't ever heard from the trucker, but it'll be ready to roll. There's your new tire right there. So it should be good. I'm just gonna fold it up here. These buttons here are how you fold. You push these two, I'm holding them now, to pull both booms in at the same time. The light blue ones fold your wing tips, and the white one raises the whole thing up and down. And then these buttons on the hydrostat, push them down. Push the 2 light blue, fold the wing tips over. There it is. The throttle cable is a little stiff. I mean, it works fine. You just gotta, you know, put a little something on it. I have a brand new cable that'll be sitting in the cab here for you. I just never put it on, and I'll show you this. After it sets for a while, it hadn't been run much lately. You know, of course, I haven't run it any this year. The solenoid, it's right down here it's right behind the injector pump. It's electric solenoid that shuts the fuel off. When you shut the engine off, it doesn't want to shut off all the way. It will finally die, or you can get around there and push the little plunger with your finger to make it die. But after you run it a little bit, shut it on and off a few times, it'll quit doing that. It did that with me last year, but after we got to run it, it quit. So I'm going to shut off the key now and show you what it does. And then I'll show you where it's at there so you can push it if you really wanted to. But after you run it a little bit, it'll quit doing that. I'll shut this off. Alright. Well, there it died before I could even get to it. It's getting better already. We've had it running 2 or 3 times. But right here, there's a a plunger right there. It's like a little rubber boot on it, and it shuts the fuel off in the back of there. And if you just push that with your finger, it shuts right off. But I don't think that's going to be a problem for you. It looks like it's already gotten a lot better just starting it a couple times here in the last couple days. So anyway, there she is.